Today's session is all about your hips. So we're going to focus on strengthening, stretching and stabilizing your hip joints. And you may notice that my voice is not in time with my mouth in the video, and that's because I was pretty silly and forgot to turn the microphone on when I was recording this. So I'm just going to be doing a voiceover, so please bear with me. First, I want you to stand on the back of your mat, and we're going to start with some deep breaths. So breathing in, and then exhaling down, reaching for the ground. Big breath in, back towards the sky, and exhaling down towards the ground. Breathing in and exhaling down. We're going to do one more here. So breathing in towards the sky, and then bring your hands down towards center. From here, I want you to forward fold and reach your hands towards the ground. You're just going to stay here for a few breaths for me. You can then bend and straighten your legs, feeling the stretch into each side. Focus on relaxing your shoulders, closing your eyes, and relaxing your neck. Just let everything hang heavy. Then straightening both legs, we're going to take our hands around the back of our legs and hold on. If that doesn't feel comfortable for you, just stay where you were and stay here for a few breaths. Good. After that last breath, we're going to walk ourselves into a downward dog. So walking your hands forwards until you look like you're in a big triangle. So bum should be nice and high towards the sky. We're then going to press onto our toes so our heels come off the ground. We'll do that a few times. Should feel quite nice through that ankle joint, and you may even feel a stretch into your hamstrings and calves. After that, think about pressing your heels into the ground to stretch through your calves and hamstrings. You're then going to bring your right leg up into a three-legged dog. So legs back and nice and straight. Then you're going to bend it and open up to feel that stretch into your hip. So this is called our three-legged dog here. Should feel like a nice stretch into your hip joint. After that, you're going to bring that same leg forwards all the way into your lunge. So then you're going to drop your back knee into a low lunge. Once you're here, you're just going to rock side to side, feeling that stretch into your hips. You might feel quite tight on one side or a little bit sticky in this one. That's fine. We'll be feeling a lot better after the end of the stretch video. Hold here for a few seconds with me, and then we're going to wiggle our foot into the middle of our hands so our hands are framing our foot. Breathing in for me, you're going to reach your hands up towards the sky, and then as you exhale, I want you to sink your hips down into the stretch. So we'll do that again. Breathe in, lift up a little bit, and then exhale, sink into that stretch. One more, breathing in, lifting up, and exhale, sink as far as you can into that hip stretch. Holding here for a few seconds for me. Keep slowing down your breathing. And now we're going to move into some pulses. So we're going to pulse our hips up a little bit and then press down. So it's quite an active movement. So here we are strengthening our hips in the stretch position. So this is really good for your mobility and flexibility. You can keep your hands on your hips, or you can hold your hands towards the ground if you're losing balance. And if you want a big challenge, hand towards the sky. I then want you to reach your hands behind you so they're resting on your lower back. And we're going to lean forward so our shoulder is resting onto our knee. And we're going to try hold here. This one is quite hard, and it's really all about being stable while we strengthen our hips. So do your best to stay focused and to not fall over. Holding there for a few more seconds for me. Taking your left hand, you're going to put it down next to your foot, and we're going to go into a beautiful twist. So your right hand opens up into a nice twist. Think about squeezing your back together as you turn your head to look towards the sky. And if you've lost track of your breath, bring yourself back to that. So big breaths in, big exhales down. All right, this next part might be a bit challenging, but give it your best shot. We're going to tuck our toes and lift our knee up into our high lunge. We're then going to rock forwards and backwards for a few breaths. Then you can put your hands down. Well done. Keep holding your deep lunge here. You can either be flat on your hands or on your fingertips, whatever feels best for you. And then we're going to step back into our plank. So that's that one side done. Well done. Back into your downward dog. Let it all loosen out. Give yourself a little wiggle. You can do some walking the dogs by bending one leg and straightening the other. One hip might feel pretty good right now, and it's soon going to be the other leg's turn. Oop, there's Murphy. That's my cat. All right, changing legs, other leg lifts up into our three-legged dog. Bend the leg and open up into your hip stretch. Murphy loves a stretch. He loves to come rub his fur over my face. All right, stepping forwards into your high lunge. Keeping your hands on the inside and dropping that back leg into a more comfortable position. We're going to rock side to side for a few breaths just to loosen up those hips. So in this one, we're stretching our hips, and then we're going to move into the stabilizing and strengthening in a second. If you do feel tighter on one side, that's very normal. We often seem to favor a side. Oh, hey, Murphy. All right, we're going to walk our foot into the middle and put our hands on either side. Staying here for a few more breaths. I think Murphy would like some food, hence why he's walking around like that. When that feels good, we're going to lift our hands up, bring it above our ears, and we're going to do those big breath ins and exhales as we sink deeper into the stretch. So breathing in, you lift up. Exhale, you sink down deeper into the stretch. Big breath in, last one, and exhale, sink nice and deep into that stretch for me. Holding there for a few seconds. So now you can choose where you want your hands, either in the air, on your hips, or on the ground, and we're going to move into our hip pulses. So you're pulsing forwards and up. Every time you pulse, think about going deeper into the stretch. Working on our hips is so important. A lot of our lower back pain comes from the hips, a combination of it being too tight, but also from it being too weak. So doing things like this will really help with lower back pain, hip pain, and even knee pain. Should never underestimate the hips. All right, hold that last stretch nice and deep. Bring your hands back up and then place them on your lower back. We're going to lean forward so our shoulders resting onto our knee. Trying to find a nice stable position here and focusing on your breath. But if you are struggling, your hands can come down to the ground like so. And it is starting to rain on me in this video, so there will be a slight glitch coming up, but just bear with me. It's a good stretch, so it's worth it. All right, we're going to take our inside hand and twist up into a beautiful twist stretch. You're still in your deep lunge. If things do look a little bit different, that is because it started to rain and I had to quickly move the camera. So sorry about that, but we're going to carry on with our great little stretch. All right, we're going to lift our knee up into a high lunge, keeping that beautiful extended position, squeezing your shoulder blades together as you look up towards the sky. After that, we're going to bring our hand back down to the ground, and then we're going to hold our stretch for a little bit longer as we move forwards and backwards onto our toes, really lengthening through our hips. If you are in New Zealand, I'm sure you're aware of how much the rain's been on and off and how moody the weather has been. All right, back into a high plank, guys, and pushing back up into downward dog. You did a great job stretching out the other side. All right, we're going to go back into walking the dog just to loosen up through our legs. And then walk your feet towards your hands for me. And then we're just going to dangle here for a few breaths. Big breath in, reach for the sky. And then exhale, we're coming back down. Big breath in, reaching up for the sky. And exhaling down. One more here for me. Breathing up. And exhaling down. And then we're going to slowly roll ourselves up to standing. Lift your hands up to the sky for me and then bend your knees slightly into our chair pose. I know, some more strengthening. It's a pretty hard stretch, but you'll thank me later. Alright, put your hands into prayer position and then twist and place onto your knee. So you're in this position here. Once you're here, I want you to really press into your hands, squeeze your shoulder blades together as you open up for nice deep breaths. And the next breath pushes up even more and keep looking over your shoulder. And the last breath, return to the center, big breath in, loosen out for a little bit, and then we're back in to do the other side. So hands are in prayer position, squeezing our shoulder blades together as we open up and look over our shoulder to get a nice stretch through the back. Stretching and strengthening our hips can feel a little bit sore and is definitely a harder stretch, but it is so worth it. Alright, back to the center and standing up again for me. We're going to roll down towards the ground and just dangle your head and your neck and just relax there. You're then going to walk your hands to the side of your leg to feel a stretch through your lower back and your side obliques. Good. Then we're going to walk to the middle and then make our way to the other side to feel a stretch in our other oblique. You've done a really good job today following the stretch. I hope your hips are grateful and that you feel nice and relaxed after this, but also nice and strong. If you do have hip issues, do this one more often, like one to two times a week. Alright, we're going to go into a little side stretch thing, so hands in the middle, open your hands up looking towards the sky, and then the other side. Doing 2 per side. Oops, starting to rain a bit more now. Rolling back up. Big reach overhead, tiny little back bend if that feels good for your body. And ta-da! You did it! Well done on joining me today. Your hips will be so grateful for that.